then we'll just move so that we don't lose so much time. Awesome. So Dr. Ish said, why is rooted in her passion for helping others to succeed and her desires to make positive impact in the lives of female leaders, helping others achieve their goals and reach their potentials. Awesome. Thank you so much, man. This is beautiful. Thank you so much, Christiana, for letting me know. Thank you so much, Jessica, as well. I appreciate you. Okay, so Rhoda said, this is my why. I do what I do. Okay, this is what my why. Okay, I think there's an error there. Okay, this is why I do what I do. My why. Okay, why I keep showing up. I'm driven by the passion to ignite transformation in others through my Oriflame business and continuous learning. Okay, okay, that is now the challenge is when your why is already involving somebody's business. I don't know. It's a bit shaky, but no problem. We're going to be discussing a lot more of that today. So Ada says, my why began the day I was fired while pregnant. Okay. So we're still going to, you see everything that is going to unfold here. By the time we're done discussing, you probably decide whether you made a mistake or not by yourself, right? But I already love what I am seeing, right? My why began the day I was fired while pregnant. That moment shattered me, but it also sparked something deeper. I experienced firsthand what it felt like to be discarded at one of the most vulnerable points in my life. It lit a fire in me to ensure no one else would go through such injustice without support. That painful experience baited my journey into HR. I chose this path to advocate for people, to help organizations build workplaces where empathy, structure, and strategy coexist today. So I just hope that you are already seeing something going on. I'm hoping that you're already seeing what is going on here. All I can say is amazing, right? Amazing. So let's see. Beauty said, I strive to empower individuals to look their best, feel confident, um, pursue their highest potentials. Every day I show up because I believe in the power of self-care. Okay, one of the things I noticed in your conversation here is that you made the majority of what you did was that you said you were saying your what instead of your why. And I think the only thing, right, you did that probably gave us a little inkling into your why was, I believe in the power of self-care and growth. That's just a little inkling you gave us. But every other thing is what you do for your clients. So you might want to revisit that. Please pay attention to what Ada did so far. Okay, so just pay attention. Like, you cannot eliminate storytelling when you are discussing your why, because the law of the buy-in, right? Nobody will buy into you except they believe you. Nobody will buy into you if they don't remember you. So essentially, that's part of the things we're going to be discussing today, so that you can sit down and think through. So it means that even when we give assignments, are we assuming that maybe the people who came last week did not return back? Okay, let me just assume, because if we had more time, I think I even gave some ideations last week, even though we didn't make it more structured like we're going to have it this night. Okay, so give me a moment. Awesome. I can see people backstage. Thank you so much for connecting with me. I appreciate that. Okay, so my why is to give out value to founders, creators, and brands by crafting compelling content in order to generate leads and drive commerce. This is still what, Cynthia? Okay, so I'm hoping that a lot of us, please, nothing should make you lose attention this night, because I've noticed that everybody is putting what instead of why. What is somebody, when somebody asks you, what do you do? Okay, I help. That's what you do. Why is not I help? Why is not I help? It's a journey. Your why is always a journey. So that's what we're going to be discussing tonight. And then once you have figured out your why properly, right? Someone like Ada would do a video and she's talking, and you literally feel like her heart through the video, right? Especially if it's not educational videos. Now, don't get it twisted. For me, Monetize with Dr. Vivian Magnus is a teaching. It's like an educational outfit for most of you who are into beauty, HR. You can name it. Okay, so I've seen a lot of sales. You need a whole lot of drama. For those in entertainment, you need a whole lot of drama. So it means that when you're recording your videos, you still have to have your brand story. Now, I'm saying this again because if you don't settle your why, people will not find what you're talking about interesting. People will not find you interesting. So they will just hear what you're saying and they might not stay for long. It might not convert. It's probably the reason why you are not converting now as regards your course that you wrote or anything at all. So I don't want to flog there. Let me just quickly go over everything. So please don't replace your words. When somebody asks you, what do you do? What is on your banner on LinkedIn, right? What is your on your first line, right? On your LinkedIn is your why, not your what. Is your why, not your what. Sorry, that's an error. Somebody just sent me a message now. It's your what, not your why. Okay, so I am the founder. What do you do? I am the founder of Phoenix Gate. That's what, not your why. Why did you found the Phoenix Gate? I cannot be saying I help. I'm just hoping it's clear, but no problem. Let's see. Okay, so skills sprint said people are waking up to find that they do not have the skills to compete in this market. I'm here to help you navigate the volatile landscape of technology so you are employable. This is lovely. Okay, so you halfway you went on your what, but I wish you could have dissected the first line, right? Have a story to it. Maybe it was something that happened to you. Okay, so 2 years ago, I just realized that I couldn't cope again at my workplace. Literally, Gen Zs were brought in back, left, right, and center. I was almost confused and anything aghast, whatever it is that will make your story probably settle in. You can now say that was why you took up that journey and you started going that way. And then, of course, adding another why. Okay, why do you want to teach other people? Is because you've seen, if you have a story of somebody who might have experienced any form of victory before now, you can add that as well. So I'm saying it because I've noticed it here. A lot of us, that's why if you have a video and you're talking, right, you really not communicate emotions, which is what you need to do on YouTube. You need it because literally every time you talk, people see your face and they know what you're up to. So you want to be saying it and interpreting, and they are literally interpreting you correctly. So Beautiful Brother said the chat box couldn't carry everything at once. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So Christiana says, my why is that I am passionate about helping businesses through on okay grow and thrive online through impactful content that connects emotionally with our target. So it's still the mistake that some of us are making. Like I said, your what is not your why, right? Your what do you do is the only thing that sounded as your why a bit, but you went off it was the fact that you said I am passionate. So, but then after I am passionate, everything afterwards was your what you do. So I'm still saying it again. You need to come up with a brand story that interprets how you started your journey. It's always very helpful for videos, right? Always very helpful for videos. Okay, so don't worry at all. Like I said, sit in. I just want to look into a few more and then we'll go on to our conversations for the night. Oh, Dr. Ish, this is amazing. This is beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So everybody who sees you now will know that you're here to share stories. And trust me, a lot of following in your direction because like I said, YouTube is also a relaxation sport. So for those who are into entertainment, so I'm talking about movie industries, reviews, movie reviews, you find out that your niche grows very, very fast. So it's very important that you name yourself properly so that people can join you immediately. So Fumi said, build your career brand with Fumi. This is not bad. But what you want to do is please go ahead and search for people in your niche. If you had done that last week's assignment, you probably would have had an idea. Is there anybody who has made it this long, right? Or are you the first person who is doing it? If you're the first person who is doing it, then you might want to just look again. If it works, then we're good. So please, if you're currently on this live, like the live so that the algorithm can as well inform more people to come on board. Please help us share so that we can have more people also as well. Okay. So Fumi said, my why is I help young professionals and graduates build powerful career brands so they can attract right opportunities, stand out. So all these things I'm still seeing is your what is what you do. So why are you on LinkedIn is what you do. So but your why is I'm talking about your why as a person. Why did you start this thing that you're doing now? Why? Okay. So anatomy of your why, not a platform's why. Okay, so I'm on LinkedIn because I am a founder of Phoenix Gates Group and I help them do this. That's my why on LinkedIn. But my why did I start helping people? So if you're probably been coming for LinkedIn events, I say it all the time. I was born for ease, as in everything that is wired within me. I just want to make sure that people make things are easier. Okay, so I grew up, I had throughout my primary school days, literally even in my classes, I realized that some of the children who were more affluent, like their parents, or their parents were educated as in professionals, they kind of had this fair treatment, like fair treatment that made a lot. Teachers were quite friendly to them, taught them a little better, and for me, it was very irritating. So as soon as I left my secondary school, I told myself outrightly that I will never feel anything again in my life. I'm serious. That's how I entered the university, right? So I don't know, I don't know what word I can use for intensity, but it was as bad as reading up to 18 hours every day. I did that in school. Yes. So at some point they were calling me the calf girl. Like I would go from my hostel to read from morning till night. I'll come back in the night, take a little nap, and go back in again. Right. And one thing I did was I just told myself I was going to break that myth of people saying that some people were intelligent or excellent in some way. And for me, graduation came, motherhood came. I know that a lot of people as well will also be given a reason or be given excuses while they cannot push. And that is my why. I'm here so that I will push anybody. I'm passionate about ensuring that people get it right. So I've not yet said what I do, but this is my passion. I will make it easy in one statement. So you already know my brand statement. I used to say it every single time. And that's why when we're choosing the name, when we were calling ourselves movers, right, on Phoenix Gate, when we're calling ourselves movers, outrightly, we meant that we move things. We're not the ones who are going to be having our hands up and are saying that, oh, we don't know, motherhood did this, or this thing did this to us. Oh, we are confused. I can't work, right? I even said it for those of you who probably remember when we used to say that all the time. If your husband says you should not work, stay at home and work on LinkedIn, like remote work, right? So that's essentially the why we founded the Phoenix Gate. So now, what we do on Phoenix Gate is monetization bootcamp, right? So part of it is also this YouTube, of course. But I said again that this is a free challenge, so no pressure anywhere. So I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say, right? So let me just look quickly and see. Okay. So she said, I started this channel to share real life experiences, inspire others on their journey, and grow through storytelling. From my locks journey to everything moment. Awesome. So you might want to have a name. So it's more like it's giving lifestyle blog. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So you can already see that this is a very good why, right? She has not said what she does. She wants to uplift just one person, and it's worth it. But she has not. You know, the thing why we're saying this and why we're discussing this very seriously is because in the end, right, your what can be overwhelming. I'll say it again. In the end, your what can be overwhelming. Your what can be overwhelming. I mean, you work with, like the last time I heard, it was the last monetization bootcamp. I mean, people just paid, nearly 40 persons just paid, and after payment, they just wanted the implementation part of it. They wanted, I don't know how you will pay and then you disappear on courses. And for me, I'm very passionate because I like to see my changes, right? I like to see people move from A to B. That's why even when we're filling all the forms, we made you say what you had on ground before you came in for this event, right? So that you can know how you are growing. So when I realized that lots of people were not pushing as much, it can be demoralizing, right? So that was my words. I say do this, they don't do it. I say do this, they don't do it. That is demoralizing already. Okay, so let's say this live event now, we have opened it up and we have like 60 persons in the group telling them to come on live to listen and learn. That is also a what. If they don't show up, it can be demoralizing. But my why is one thing. I'll say it again. Some of you who have been coming consistently, I'll still say, even if it's one person that comes here and I'm able to bring the person out from where he is, then I would have done super well. So that's why you need to have your why armed. Else, when the burnout of your words, like what you do, starts coming at you in full-fledged, if you don't have a steady why, you will give up. So you find out that some people started out on LinkedIn and now they are nowhere. They started out on YouTube and now they are nowhere. They started out on Facebook and now they are nowhere. They just can't keep up. So that's why you need, I'm saying this now because it's very preliminary so that you can figure it now and clear it out and get yourself steadied in. So I'm just going to look at one more, then we go in. So my why: every individual deserves a balanced and wholesome life. So I truly believe that it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So you can see that she has not said what she does, but that means if I hang around Promise, she's going to make things easy for me. So she's essentially like my family member, right? So she's going to make everything easy for me if I just hang around her. Okay. Okay, so I think I'll just go into our conversation so far so that it will now be more deepened for all of us. Thank you so much for adding your thoughts. We'll all come back here. Like I said, if you have a why that you have in mind, just drop it here. We'll all just come back here. The leaders of the community can come back here. If we need to make any form of corrections, right, we can make that corrections and tell you to tweak this, tweak this, tweak that. That will make you post, right? For me lately, because I've been very busy, I'm currently writing a research. I am also doing many other things. I'm setting up this challenge as well. It means that I have to bring out at least one long form of videos every week. So recording everything. My kids are currently on break, right? It's easy for me to just say, I think I'm exhausted. I probably will not push anymore. Let me just probably just focus and do other things. But my why will not let me, because every single time I come out on Sunday, just like somebody who said that she was lost. I can't remember who said that now, but that one person, even if it was her, I mean, it's her first time coming on our life event, I would have gotten one person. So that's why you need to sit down with your why, even in your conversation, your videos. It's a game changer. I'll say it again. Your why is for the long haul. And like I said, YouTube is a long course, right? But the good thing is that we are coming as a community. Like I said, if you are late to any party, go with your community, right? You have every opportunity still intact for you. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing now. Like we said, we will not allow anybody, right? Probably lazy around us. A lot of people will be taken out of the group today. And that's what we'll be doing every week until we at least get people to grow to a particular level. Then we'll all just celebrate ourselves. Like I said, please pay attention to everybody who is currently on this platform with you. Everybody who is currently in the group as well, pay attention to them. They have answers to whatever challenge that you have right now. So I'm going to go straight into our conversations for the night. Okay, so we're going to be discussing the anatomy of our why and then how to curate a very good, or what are the frameworks to have in mind when curating a video presentation. Those are the two broad topics we're going to be doing tonight. And your anatomy of your why will help you converse. It will also help you choose an appropriate story hook. Okay, so there are different kinds of hook for what's the word now? There are different kinds of hook when you're curating a video, right? There's a storytelling hook, there's the sound hook, there's a visual hook, and a lot of us, especially like LinkedIn and a few other platforms that does a whole lot of writing, they always like to emphasize on storytelling. But sincerely, of course, you find out that YouTube has a different ball game altogether, right? So it means that there are other factors that can make you literally stand out on YouTube, and that's part of the things we're going to be discussing tonight. So the anatomy of your why. One person that has always stood out, right, who is super very meditative, is Simon Sinek. He said something. He said, "People don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it." So you can see already. I'm already saying it again. So your words. You entered someone's DM and you said, I help you transform your this. It's possible, of course, like I will still say it again. It's possible that people can probably just come and say, or somebody can just say, "Oh, lovely, thank you for what you do." And the person just decides to hire you. You're an outlier, right? But then I'll say again, you don't want to bank on being an outlier. So one of the things you might want to do is, having studied the person, you can now start a very short story. In fact, one that converts like literally 100% is you having a video of yourself, right? Probably saying something, discussing. That's where YouTube will come in. So I noticed that some of us in our community were a bit anxious to curate our videos for last week. I said there is nothing wrong with it, right? It's better you actually started and you're under pressure than you didn't even do at all. Okay. So now this is it again. People don't buy what you do. So I do this. I am a founder. Nobody is interested. So this is all still putting our energy on one word. the law of the buy-in, right? The law of the buy-in that was first discussed by, I think, John C. Maxwell, right? The law of the buy-in. It means that everybody wants to buy into this person, okay, into your personality, your stories, who you are, what you have done. Okay, so that's essentially why. Okay, so when somebody asks you, why did you start? Why are you a storyteller? Stories like maybe when you were born, like essentially everybody around you told stories, your dad enjoyed it, something something, your grandparents or something, or maybe you had to tell a story and you won a competition. It has nothing to do with what you're going to offer them right now, but it's telling them that you are going to be consistent at this course. So for people whom I told last year, literally, that I was going to be coming out every Sunday, they know. If they were the ones who probably decided they were going to do that, by now they would have gassed out. Like I said, for every one person who joins the life, I am more fulfilled every week. So you can see that my why has settled who, what, how many people. So you find out that some people, when they start having low turnouts, they will stop completely. Of course, like I said, it's not an excuse. We would want to, of course, ask you if you're currently on this live, please help us share, help us like this event as well, because it's going to help us rank a little more higher with the algorithm, and it will help people come in and learn and change their lives. That's still answering my why. So I said it again. People, the reason why you need to solve your why question is because people will not buy what you do. Okay, you're a virtual assistant, and then I help, and then okay, I have helped over 800 increase IRL. Yes, that would draw people's attention. Oh, that's lovely. She has results. But a why would also help people know that you are committed to what you are doing. So if you essentially just started whatever you're doing because there was money attached to it, you can see that that's the reason why some people, when you bring them into your atmosphere, they are very weak. They are not as productive. So you can see that these are people whose whys are very, very weak. So your why essentially, you can, with your why, you can do anything without being paid, like essentially what I'm doing right now. So if you don't have your why settled, right, you think that, oh, if there's no money involved, then you're not growing. So I'm going to stop there, right, in this conversation, so that I move deep into our conversations for the night. So essentially understanding this anatomy is your first step. First step. So for all those people who have been screaming, oh, what do you offer, what do you do, that what do you do on LinkedIn, if you have not answered your why, your questions of deciding what to niche down on might be, you might have challenges on what to niche down to, right? So understanding the anatomy of your why is your first step to crafting a meaningful connections with your customers who believe what you believe. So again, if you don't have your why figured out, it will be very hard. It will be very, very tough, because like I said, there will be challenges, right? Things will happen that probably will question. Like for me, when we started Phoenix Gate, right, I think, was it like 3 months into Phoenix Gate, 3 to 2 months into Phoenix Gate, I had a group of people that were peddling some talk like that. Some of them were just saying they want to talk to me, they want to see me. I'm like, eh, who are these ones again? Challenges came up on a normal day. Because of my general personality, I might not take some of those things on a regular day. I'll be like, who is this person? I don't even know you from anywhere. And you're already saying some funny things. Okay, so part of the stories that were peddled there was they made me. I'm like, made me with what? Because when we started Phoenix Gate, it was completely free. So nobody paid me anything. So when you're saying that you made me, how did you make me? Okay, so stories like that can actually hampered me, especially when it came for us pivoting or scaling into structures. I was now very scared to have people volunteer in my circle of influence, right? And this is why, because I felt like I don't want anybody who I hear anything negative from. So even the people who are currently volunteering with me, I don't even used to bother myself. Like if you just do, I'll just move on. I can't remember how many volunteer groups I've opened so far. Of course, this is just me being vulnerable, right? So I'm still saying it now because your why will keep you moving, even when everybody else doesn't understand what you are here to do. So you can see the difference again. So let me slow down a bit so that it's not too much. So I'm going to say it again. For the summary of our first page, it's essential. People don't want to buy what you do. They want to buy why you do it. Why did you go to medical school? Why are you a storyteller? Not that, oh, I tell stories, I help you improve your brand. That is your what. But why did your journey start that way? Why did you think at this phase of your life, this is what you want to start doing by yourself? So that's the one that people will likely connect with, right? Okay, so I'm going to help us again. There are three main structures of your why, right? Your purpose, your values, and then personality. These three structures will always help you determine whether, okay, this is what is your why. So let me explain it again. What is your purpose? So for me, like I said, I've always, before I went into mainstream like education, like what we are doing in Phoenix Kids Group, I've always believed that I'm a worshiper, right? So when I sing, I believe in healing, right? I heal. I believe that the sick gets healed and then the dead get raised. I literally believe it. I believe in the healing power of God anytime I open my mouth to sing. Why do I sing? If somebody say why do I sing? I believe that while when people hear my voice, right? Not the songs that I sing. When people hear my voice, they will literally have the healing. So, one thing you might want to pay attention to, the three pillars of your why is your purpose, right? Like I said again, it must be deeper than virtual assisting. So, what do you do? Who are you? What do you do? I'm a virtual assistant. Why are you a virtual assistant? So, stories like, well, when I was quite younger, okay, I was the first child. And you know this thing about female first child. My mom always had me in charge of all my siblings. So somehow I was just the one who would always help them out to do this, to do that. I would always help them out, prepare their uniform. So somehow I just got used to the supportive role. My mom was the first person I first started supporting. And before I went on to school, even when I got into leadership, I found myself being the assistant secretary or the assistant president or this and that. So essentially, everything around supporting role just suits me. And this is one thing I've always done for the best. And I have, then you can now start talking about your results. I have helped over 500, 1,000, 2,000 persons do this and this and that. I'm just saying, in terms of an interview now, if you're going to probably convert, if somebody asks you, why are you doing what you're doing? So you can see that if you probably coming into the interview as a HR professional and you're hearing me talk about how emotional, like how I was groomed to support, and I have somebody who probably will still walk into the room, I would rather choose you who has a history of helping people than somebody who just came and say, I'm a virtual assistant. I've worked with over 5,000, 10,000 people. You just bring me on board and I'm going to get the work done. So I'm hoping that this is becoming clearer. If this concept I just discussed right now is clear for you, just say clear. Samson, I can see you here a lot. Thank you so much for coming in. Okay, I didn't see the message you left. So please help me say clear if you understand so far. Like I said, the first thing you want to have in mind is purpose. For me, even from when I ministered as a music minister, like I told you guys the story of my secondary school days, how because my parents were essentially business people, so my assignments, once I bring assignments home, they don't even want to find themselves around it. And I didn't blame them, right? It meant that I did my assignments myself. Okay, so this probably means same more stories, right? I did my assignments myself. And over again, after doing my assignments back to back, next thing I realized was that I started teaching my younger ones. Even from the age of 5, I'll be teaching I taught both my younger ones and my elder ones, right? So you can already see that my personality is already forming. That's why anything helping, educating people, making things very easy for them, I'm already wired in that direction. So somebody will say, Vivian, why are you why do you help people monetize? I was born in the market. So the same way I was paying attention to my academics, I was also selling. So at the age of 5, this is me probably being modest, but literally my mom almost gave birth to me on her way to the a business trip. Yes, that's the word. Or let's say a trading trip. Literally, I was almost born in a car. So I've sold all my life. So we're part of those kids or that generation of children that were consistently taken out to work. So for my workplace was the marketplace. So I was born selling. So you can already see that anybody who hears me, irrespective of the fact that, okay, I'm a medical doctor, you will know that I have the ororo. Okay, so if you're probably from other sides of the world, ororo just means the anointing, the oil, right? To teach you how to make sales, how to, and teaching will come very easy for me. So when you're crafting your why, it's very essential you pay attention to your purpose. Like, okay, what are the things that were already super easy for you when you were coming up, right? And then now, once you have figured out your purpose, then what are your values? What are the things that you cannot take? Like me, for me, my one of my major values is people who are very lazy. Jesus, it's a major turn off for me. Like a major turn off for me. In fact, that's the reason why I rarely do. My courses are always like live. Yes, I don't like recorded courses and dropping it off for people. Of course, because we have a community now, am responsible to ensure that, okay, of at least one video within the week comes up to still reinforce people's lives based on what we have discussed today. But normally, I like to see people do it. So for me, you know that my values are anything laziness out of it. I love loyalty. I love excellence. I do it to the best of my whatever is available to me right now. Like I still say it, I say it all the time. Excellence, perfection is a mirage, right? Progress. So, but I make sure that every single time I have to do anything, I outdo myself. So once you have figured out your values, right? Your purpose, then you craft out your values. Okay, what are the things that I cannot take? What are the things that would help me fulfill this purpose that I have? Then your personality, okay, how you converse. Like for me, for the way I converse, my conversation, it's just part of excellence in the sense that I will not just come and just leave myself as though where is this one coming from? You know, what's like that. So for some of you who probably be listening in, you know that I'm a Nigerian for my conversation, but it then doesn't mean that being authentic means I should speak anyhow or I should conjure anything. So it's still all these things will wire my personality. So once I'm clear on my why, so I've been able to give all of you who are currently on this live event my why. I've told you my why. So anybody that knows me know that I'm passionate about teaching, and it did not start today. I taught my younger ones. I taught my elder ones. Yes, I don't know where the boldness came from, but I've always been like that. And then I didn't just do that. I went on. I went on to swear because, of course, like I said, because my assignments were backlogged, of course, it meant that, okay, some teachers would be picking favorites and saying, oh, this person is the intelligent. I'm like, what's the meaning of this? So that's essentially my wiring. It means that I like new things. I love to conquer. I love the hard things, sincerely. If not because of maybe motherhood and giving birth, I had sworn, right, when I started medicine that I was going to be a neurosurgeon. Vivian, why? I said, I just want to become a neurosurgeon because I want to prove that it's an easy thing to do. But then, of course, as I got to grow in my spirits as a human being, like especially with God as well, I realized that, okay, if I'm doing anything, I'm not doing anything to please anybody, right? I would just do something that I love to do, right? And that's essentially why I became a medical doctor, because I literally will see people get well when I teach them, when I educate them, and then when I administer drugs. So my favorite part was always discharge. So you can already hear that I am telling you some stories. You cannot miss it anywhere, right? So the essence why you need to pay attention to your why, okay? This English is funny, right? Is because it helps memory. It helps memory. So Ada's story now, I can never forget Ada's story for anything. I mean, she was fired because she was pregnant. I've been there before, right? I've been there before. Mine was that I was when I was close to 2 months or 4 to 2 months pregnant, I could not eat anymore. Okay, so the pregnancy hormone was not allowing me eat, and I was still a medical doctor. I was still going to the hospital, but I will go on 5 days without eating. I was taking drip, right, without eating, just so that I can see other patients. And then went only to settle in, and they were still insisting that I must take calls. So guess what my calls were? 8 o'clock, I resume 8 a.m. in the morning, and then I will work till 4 p.m., then work till 4 p.m. the next day. So that's almost 24 hours, right? In fact, if it's shy of 24 hours, probably 6 or 8 hours shy of 24 hours. So a pregnant woman who has not eaten is still asked to care for everybody as though nothing happened. When I complained, they said that I'm not the first person who is pregnant, and irrespective of my health condition, I should show up and hold the call. And that was how I ran from that particular hospital. So when I see somebody already advocating for women like that, her story is totally relatable. So you know that's the reason why everybody needs to share their story. When you share your story as part of your brand message, right? What you're giving to your clients, to your viewers, for most of us who are on this YouTube journey, it's going to be a whole lot easier because people can now say, "Oh, this girl can do anything." And literally, that's how many people joined my community then, because they say this is Mother Ginger. Like, no matter how busy she is, she will push you people to do the right thing. And sincerely, that's my personality. And then who would you rather pay? Somebody who is just telling you that, oh, you can do it, just come and pay, join my classes, you can do it, or somebody who is showing you by her antecedents that she has the energy to carry you through whatever consistency or whatever it is. For some of you who don't even know, my community took a 5 months challenge non-stop. So we posted every day before we now even started doing our paid challenge, our paid monetization bootcamp and implementation bootcamp challenge. So, and all that 5 months I didn't charge anybody. So I'm just still trying to, when you are you're crafting your whys, you're showing your vulnerability, the fact that you're not under pressure, the fact that you are here to give. That's how you build trust. People start saying, oh, this person is out for this because of me, and she's here to ensure, she wants to see that I'm getting well. That's why I would rather probably just join her coaching program than any other person. So that's why you need to align your why, and it should be in your brand statement. So when we say I am a mover, in fact, movers and shake, I think we had like a scam, somebody who is a scammer come into our group. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? The person was saying that that there's a community called movers. I think this is where anybody can laugh. Please, if you're on this live, you can drop your emoji of laughter. He said that there's a community called movers who do public speaking, and the truth is, because we show up every week, and then all our part of the things we offer to our members is that, okay, at the end of our challenge we'll make you speak. So probably the person just speaks one on one, and movers is essentially from the energy I have as a person, right? Let's move, let's do something. We call ourselves movers and shakers, we still call ourselves movers and shakers. And so if you're joining us for the first time, well, this is the community that you were about being scammed from. Like we said again, nobody will ask you to sell your YouTube account, sell your LinkedIn account, rent it, whatever. Please don't do that to yourself, especially for your LinkedIn, right? Especially for your LinkedIn. If you sell your LinkedIn account, you only have one shot. One shot. LinkedIn, once you're restricted and you're banned because they find out some shady activities around you, it will be like a total banning, because you don't know what the person is going to use your account for. So please, no renting. No matter how desperate you are for money, please avoid that. So, like I said again, your why is start with your purpose. When you have realized what your purpose are, then you decide what your values are based on your low hanging fruits. Okay, so for me, because whatever it is I'm offering has a lot of energy around it, right? Has a lot of excellence around it. Have a lot of, for me to want people to do well, I have to be compassionate towards them. So it means that I would love them, or the word is I would be vulnerable towards them. So it's already my value. So if I meet somebody who talks anyhow, or somebody who talks down on people, or somebody who thinks that they are the only ones who are the best, you can see that my value will be conflicting and I will not do well around that person, right? So it won't be possible for me to blend much with the person's. And it's not because the person is bad. It's just that the person's phase right now does not accommodate my own core principles, which is finding ways to just help people, right? So that's why everybody needs to pay attention to their wives. Oh, awesome. Good to see you, Michael Rivers. Thank you so much for coming in. Okay, so he said great energy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you. All the way from New York. Thank you. Okay, so like I said again, everybody who is currently here, and one thing with paying attention to your why is that it will help you come up with an emotional conversation. Like, if I would want to discuss my why as one full blank story, there's no way you listen to it and question if I'm going to deliver on any work at all. And that's why you need to pay attention to your why. And then for those people who will do and they say burnout, you have not paid attention to your why. Like I said, I don't know who will burn out more, right? I don't know who will burn out more. someone who probably is a single. So you're on this life currently and you're a single person. All you have to do is to write content, right? For LinkedIn, which is super annoying. You like write content and you have to engage at least for more than 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours before you start ranking high. It's super annoying. In fact, right now it's paining me. It's becoming annoying, right? I feel better that I will have to just craft my post and just post and walk away like what we do on YouTube. All you have to do is spend time or get a graphic designer or spend time designing yourself. For me, I would say again for my community, start growing, right? At least do some of the things you can do on your own first before you start bringing people on board, right, to do some of those things for you. So for me, what I would say, of course, for your intro videos and many other things, it would be good for you to get a professional person. Sorry guys, my light on my phone went off. Just give me one minute, please. Okay, my stream was interrupted. Okay. So that's essentially what I'm saying. When your why is complete, it will be very easy for you to just tell your story. I mean, if people invite you to talk anywhere, your storytelling will not just be about other people. It will just be you. And the good thing about sharing your story from yourself to people is that, especially for the coaching industry, for which other industry? Mm, Let me see. For the people who are educating, yes, so the medical education, if you tell stories that are super relatable and even might even include some of your stories, don't share overtly vulnerable vulnerable stories. So you still find out that people can easily remember you. Oh, that lady that this thing happened that was fired because she was pregnant. Oh, you find out that when you have your why, your stories will easily be remembered. And of course, that's how you always be getting jobs. Oh, let's talk to that particular lady. Oh, let's talk to that particular guy. She's just the best person for the job. And like we said, in a world where people forget people's names a lot, you just want to have something super excellent and a narrative you created. That's why every single time we're shouting personal brand, right? Because most people will, if you allow people to craft your brand for you, it will. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rafa. Please, let's all like the event. She's giving me that reminder as well. Please like the event so that we can rank higher as well. Okay, for the algorithm. So back to my conversation. So I said again, the whole idea of you settling your why is that you're going to give other people an opportunity to remember you, right? And then it's also going to help you when you are gassing out. So I would always say it again. You cannot explain 3 children. You cannot explain, and all my children are toddlers. So twins, they're barely 1 plus. And I showed up on LinkedIn when my kids were like 6 months. I started my masters just maybe a few months in, maybe like a month, 2 months in. So I've written exams. I think I've posted some of my exams on LinkedIn, my exam results on LinkedIn before. People saw my all A's, right? So I'm still trying to tell you why you can actually have an easy life. So I'm telling you these stories. It's already crafting something in your mind about Dr. Vivian. Oh, if Dr. Vivian is going to be doing this, definitely I would want her in my space, right? So you don't want people to craft their story on you. So if you are not telling your story about yourselves, people can just say, "Ah, she's a snob," and they'll start selling those ideations. Like I'll still say it again, gone are those days or that year when people will be the ones to tell you who you are. It's very essential that you start telling your own stories and inculcate your stories even in your business because it helps you be memorable. And then of course we're on LinkedIn, we are on what's the word? We're on YouTube right now. This is where your story hook is going to come super handy. So if you have not settled in on your why, when you're not growing or maybe when you're not seeing as much interactions on your posts, you can easily chicken out. For me, I've even gotten to the point where I told myself, when it's time to post, my time to post, I will post whether I'm available to engage or not, because I have my why. I must show up. But then I still know the things I need to do to rank high when it comes to my engagements. So that's the phase I've been right now. And it's simply because I've understood my why, right? I don't have to be online to serve a particular platform. I'm here to help people. For those who care to help, that's why every single time right now when I write my post, I will say share to your share to your community, because eventually, right, I'm showing up because of you, right? I can decide to do any other thing. Like I said in one of my first videos this year, I said I'm Odogu Pararan's wife. So you know Odogu Pararan, you don't have to do anything. Odogu will still be paying you. But if you have to show up, it simply means that people's lives are on the line. And I'm still saying it again, you need to settle your why questions. People's lives are on the line. People you're supposed to be helping are on the line. But if you don't have a proper story telling them why you are here to help them, they might meet you and they will not know that you are actually here to serve them. And it will be very bad, right? That your customers are actually languishing simply because you did not sit down to introspect and start talking. Okay, so like we said again, I'll just read through this. He said, your brand's why is the core reason it exists beyond making money. So a lot of people are just what I help businesses, I help. Helping is what you're here to do. Okay, supposing it's not a business, will you still help? Right? Will you still ensure that people are elevated? Can you still give back? It is beyond making money. That is why you need to settle your why. So so the questions you're going to ask yourself is essentially these three questions, right? Start by asking, why does this business exist? So if you're here and you're probably a storyteller or parenting room, if you can answer that why, right? We will not have a question on you. Then if you can answer your why, it won't be hard for you to come up with videos weekly. At least one main videos weekly. Then your shorts can be probably very short, fun videos interpreting or telling people what you do. Right? So you can see that it will now not be hard for you to show up on LinkedIn for those who are showing up because you have settled it. Like for me, every single time I post, I don't post for the algorithm now. I don't just post for the engagement. I post because I know that my community, people that I'm supposed to help, will be online. There's somebody who is going to be giving up soon. And the person can probably see my post, even if it has a low engagement or not, and say, oh, this woman still shows up irrespective. And that's what I did for last night. My newsletter, I scheduled it and I went to church. Yes, by 6:30 this morning, I was already in church, right? I scheduled it and I went to church. I told myself, I don't have to live for an algorithm, right? I've settled my why. I'm here to help people, and I'm here for the long haul. I don't have to sacrifice anything. Spiritual well-being, emotional well-being, nothing. I will just show up because I know that the people who I am here to help will be out to read. And then, of course, the days that I'm freer, like I said, if you're currently having challenges with the LinkedIn algorithm, you have not spent time. So you might just want to do total immersion. I've told that severally to a lot of persons. Go one day, just block it and say, today, me and LinkedIn. You literally see your impressions go up. It tells you a picture of how your post will perform when you eventually post. When your impressions are higher, your post will likely do well. Okay, so I've said that. So why does your business exist? Okay, that will help you keep pushing, right? Then what problems are you passionate about solving? So put that down as well. Then what values? Of course, like you can see that we're already coming out. We went from purpose. When you answer your why, your purpose can be gotten out of it. Once you have gotten your purpose, then your value will be heavily printed out. Then your personality will help you now start up. When you start hearing people talking about personal brand, I've realized that a lot of people just start from personal brand. Everybody just start behaving like what you do. People are gonna, sorry guys, I apologize. I forgot that I'm literally just gisting. So just means as a like blabberish, like blabbering, gibberish. Okay, so you hear people start saying, oh, start positioning yourself. Positioning yourself for what? The first question should be why. Why do you think that this is what you want to do right now? Okay, once you've answered that question, you decide on your values. Okay, these are the things that I'm known for. I'm going to be known for. I'm going to be known for excellence. I'm going to be known for progress. I'm the one who finishes my tasks. I'm going to always be known for being the best at anything I do. Then by the time you have settled it, then your personal brand can now start coming out, because that's where your personality starts forming. So when you're acting in a particular somebody's saying when you start acting in a particular way, you now have a bet. So somebody now can say, oh, let's say your personal brand now is, I am the number one. So a lot of people have been seeing that favicon ranking coming out all across LinkedIn, and everybody saying, yeah, oh, I was the number one in this. And you, who are probably just showing up on LinkedIn, favicon has not seen you anywhere, right? Talk less of to rank you. Why will you keep showing up even if you see people who have said that they are number one, number two, number three? Is your why. So even if your personal brand has not even formed, maybe you're trying to explain and talk to people about what you do, who you are, and they're not yet getting it. something will keep making you come out. So, like I'll say it again, that is why at I started the Phoenix Gates group when I just had 2,000 followers. In fact, that 2,000 followers, I was late. I was already late. So I'm still saying this now because of some people who are currently on this live event and they are still saying, oh, I just have 2 subscribers. Maybe when I get to 1,000 subscribers, then I'll start deciding on my why. Then I'll start positioning myself as a brand. So I'm hoping, and today, this thing that I'm discussing now, to be sincere, I've never seen anybody talk about personal brand in this life. I'm hoping that other people who are currently on this life would also maybe upgrade their curriculums in that direction for those people whom that is their strong niche, so that you can build appropriately for people, so that they don't go and start saying, oh, I am the best. And that is where the exhaustion comes in. That's where the burnout comes in. When all of a sudden you're no longer the best, you're no longer what people thought you were, or you're no longer having those results that you used to have before now. You don't throw in the towel. The question will be, where's that next one person that I'm going to change their life? And onward march, we keep pushing. Okay, so thank you so much for. So if you have understood our conversation so far, just say understand. Just write understand. Let me be sure that you're with me, so that I am also um pushing this conversation as well. So please just write understand, understand. Okay, so let me look through the conversation so far. Okay, I'll be known for excellence. Excellence is my pride. Awesome. So, Promise said that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What he said. Yes, so it's anointing. Promise. Awesome. Awesome. So please, if you've understood, please just say understand, so that we can be moving right into our conversations. So we've already grown from our why. Everybody, I'm sure that you are paying attention now. So for all of you who still, we wrote our conversations and you are still writing words. Okay, you are still writing your words or probably your results or your metrics. I'm hoping that you're already making some of those adjustments, because it's going to help you as well. Okay. Okay, so Promise said this is what is for me. I just entered. Awesome. Congratulations there. Congratulations. Okay, so awesome. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Our excellent prophetess. Thank you. Thank you, Rafa. Thank you so much, Hawa. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Comfort. Thank you. So now, once we have understood our why, right? The next thing you're going to do is you need to you need to have a story like on standby. Thank you so much, Ada. I can see you as well, Immaculate. Thank you so much. Right. The next thing to move from is not to start saying, "Oh, I'm a personal brand strategist," or I am a something something something." The next thing is to have a brand story that would let people know that, okay, you have this energy. So for coaches, right, vulnerability might not be the first thing you put out there for a coach. So I'm going to say it again, and that's what a lot of people don't know. For a coach, your weaknesses are not essentially what you put out there, because your framework, I don't know how to explain it now, what you do requires strength. Okay, so you're not the one who will be the people will be seeing that, oh, you cannot post, you are going to disappear. Or for, I'm just saying, for coaches and founders, yes, for coaches and founders, you don't want to be giving the vibe of I am weak to your followers. So when you're choosing a brand story, pay attention to always see yourself come out of any challenge, right? Come out, even if you had a challenge, right? Make sure that you're still a hero of that particular challenge. So you can see other story. Yes, somebody might say fired, but what? She has now become an employer of labor. So that's why you must ensure that you come your brand story. Don't put yourself as a weak person throughout, especially for coaches. Coaches, it's 100%. Of course, for any other niche, storytelling niche, you can always tell any story and you can come off of it. Everybody will know that, oh, that girl's stories are simply captivating. You can even tell people stories, right? Nobody will query you. But as a coach, you'd have to try your possible best. Of course, there are places to share your vulnerability, but you have to try your best to put your best foot forward. Okay. So your brand story, you haven't understood your why, right? We said from your why, you decided on your purpose, you've decided on your values. So I'm hoping that as we're doing this life right now, a lot of you are already writing, what are my values? And your values is not the one that is inherited. Oh, my sister, my mom hates people who are colored orange. So me personally, that's how I know if I see any orange person. And truly, truth, any relationship I have with an orange person, it always scatters. That one is what do they call it? Referred referred values is not a necessary. It's not necessary, right? Make sure that your values are rooted in what you want to offer, whatever it is that is your why. Okay, so diligence for me is a big, yeah. If I just notice that you're very active and you're very diligent, you always keep the time, is a, I don't know how to it's a light bulb for me. It's something that I like to be around, right? So those are the things you start figuring out, that okay, because of how your why is positioned, this is your values. So the next thing, like we said, is to develop a personality. That's where your personal brand now starts. Having figured out your personal brand, the sense of what you want to offer. Let's say I want to be a storyteller. What will be my brand story? So the whole idea of ensuring that you have a brand story is so that you can tell people, right? You can easily just tell a story and everybody will just buy into it. So I think the perfect picture was what did Ben Carson did, what let me see, and lots of public speakers dabble into those things. That's literally how presidents win. I think the person who probably didn't leverage on those that narrative as much is probably Trump. And like I said again, there will be a few outliers. For him, he just sat on authenticity. This is me, whatever you want to do, this is me. But I realized that there are lots of people, of course, most people on the other crop, maybe the Democratic parties and all that, they do a lot of storytelling, they do a lot of grooming, positioning, brand stories and all that. Like I said, if you're going to work with clients, these are the things that will keep you afloat, right? If you already figured out all these things, it will be easier for you to work with the person, right? And then it also positions you as an expert when you're relating with the person as well. So essentially, your brand story is the soul of your brand. Like I've told you the soul already today. We've talked about mission, value. So all these statements, you should just have them, especially for some of us who are looking to have grants for foundations, Comfort Brown. All these things should have been clearly documented. In fact, your story should have plenty tears, right? Let's say you grew up in a neighborhood where you saw even the best of your childhood, your something happened, and it was simply because parents were neglecting children in the slums. Your story, if let's say you have a story of somebody whose parents had passed, and how it affected their academics and how they didn't do well or how they died. So you can see that already. I'm trying to be very fast because of the curriculum for the night, but you can already see that if you start telling people things like this, some people will even start crying. That's why movies sell. I'll still say it again. The day when we did our personal branding course for the community, that's why movies sell more. That's why even on YouTube, right? The most views, go and check, most viewed people in the entertainment, people in the movie. So entertainment is movie because they dabble with stories a lot. So this is us probably as professionals taking a cheat sheet, like being able to crop out something and say, okay, yes, since we are professionals, but we also would want people to relate with us. We want that emotions that people get from watching movies, even on our videos, right? Depending on how whatever narrative we want to share per videos. Like I said, for the sake of this um challenge, for me, I'm going to be teaching, so most of my videos will be around teaching, but then of course I'm going to have most of my shorts will have those emotional things going on, because the truth is people are emotional beings. Don't even be saying, why is she crying? Just say sorry and move on. People are emotional beings, right? So you must start paying attention to telling stories. It will literally be a game changer for your brand, for your YouTube channel. It would literally be, and that's why the faceless challenge, faceless channels seem to be doing very well now. Okay, so whether it's AI faceless channels or just pictures that had a background voice told as stories. Okay, so let me say this again. I've noticed that when people say faceless all the time, the first thing they think of is AI. No, you can actually have a collage of photos and you do a voiceover and it's still a faceless challenge, but you tell stories on the background of it. I don't want to put you in for, because one of the things I also realize is most of these AI videos right now are most of these AI apps, they are becoming they would want you to literally pay for all the apps. So you'll be paying monthly and all that. And if you're part of this challenge, I'm sure you know by now that you should have a cap cut, right? Please pay, subscribe to a cap cut, right? Just calculate it, whether you'll be paying a videographer or you just get a CapCut that would easily just, even CapCut now has an AI feature. Don't worry, we are going to do our, we're still going to, of course, we already have a video training, right? But I'll say again, we're not going to put a lot of pressure in that direction. But please, I'll show examples on our weekly posts as a community that I will release, so you can see how you can do that as well for yourself. Okay, so okay, so you can see that beyond features had talked about you communicating not just what you do, but why you do it matters very, very well. And then not just about why you do it. One of the things you might want to put to heart as well is your aspirations. I think I discussed that. I was looking that to the fact that Phoenix Gates would eventually become a live event where literally we'll have a platform, like we have a building when freelancers, mothers, nursing moms, I mean, you name them, people who are probably distraught at one point in their career, all of a sudden come around and they are getting help, upskilling, they are learning, they are showing up, they are monetizing. So you can see that I'm already discussing some of the aspirations of the community. And of course, I think our Apostle Heavens right now, she has literally been teaching on grants on her platform. One of these days, I'll still bring her back to talk to us on how we can start getting grants, because the truth is, the reason why you need to have aspirations is because anybody might want to partner with you at any point in whatever you do. So if you're here just shouting virtual assistant, virtual assistant, virtual assistant means what? What is your aspiration? What do you want to use with that position? Okay, we understand. Okay, nobody will put gun on your head because you showed up and you figured out that there's nothing else that is non-code that you can offer. But can you just build a dream around virtual assisting? Can you just say, okay, what if I now become the one that people will go to and answer some of these questions? How about me having a course? How about building a community? Aspirations, right? This will give people an opportunity to know how serious you are with whatever you are offering. Okay. So we talked about authentic identity, but we said if you're a coach, you might not want to overshare, because the truth is people want to know that you are strong and you can handle them. That is why they come to you for your courses and all that. So depending on your niche, okay, so you would want to tell people how you overcame a particular problem, or what are your commitments right now when it's regards to you pivoting, because of course you cannot be playing a blind eye right now with all the AI everywhere, right? You cannot be pretending like you don't know that in the next few years, right, there's really going to be a whole lot of change in your business, in your brand, in everything. So as AI, of course, if you're on LinkedIn, so this is me probably speaking again for people who are on YouTube. If you're on LinkedIn, please, if you're on Facebook as well, Facebook people are not commenting is 5 and 6, right? If you're on Facebook as well, one of the things I'll tell you, please open a LinkedIn account. Just open, right? And just find the AI enthusiast or the AI niche, people who are currently updating people daily in whatever, right? You need to be updated with what is currently ongoing. I mean, some of the things that are coming out right now, you know that some jobs will literally go extinct if we don't pay attention. Okay. Okay, so like I said, for today, we're just talking about, we talked about your why, then to your brand storytelling as a topic and as a hook will be taken by Dr. Ish. I think probably I'll talk with her if she's free next week. We can have her on board. If she's not, we can still we still have personal branding to discuss. So you can see that everything that we're discussing this night, we are building, right? So I think Mrs. Omobabirin has also said that she's going to come to talk more on personal branding. So I'm hoping that by the time she comes, you can see that we have already laid the foundation. So it's no longer a hard thing. The only thing is, if you're not having results right now, it just means that you are being careless, or you. And for me, sincerely, by the mercies of God, those are not the kind of people I like around me, right? I don't like lazy people. I don't like, I will say it again. And with all humility, not anything serious. It's just that once you are seeing help, just take it and run with it. Okay, so we talked about the importance of having your or the importance of telling a brand story is that whoever it is, so you can see that now if I want to get any job or I'm looking that I would want to work, and if there was any other person who introduced themselves as a HR here, there's no way I will remember the person more than I'll remember Ada. I will literally remember her because I have a connection. I have experienced what she talked about, right? And like I said again, memorability. People will remember you. So you hear people say, no be that guy where they. Okay, so sorry if you're from other parts of the country. I was trying to um speak broken. So it'll be more like it's not that person who does this, it's not that person who does that. So that's literally how we know. Okay, we remember people. Then another thing is building trust. So now everybody knows that if they sign up for my course, they will be gingered because that's all I have to offer, right? Okay, so then it helps set you apart. That's by the time you have figured out all these things from your why to your purpose, right? We talked about from your why to your purpose, then to your values, to your personality, then your story. By the time you get to this point, there's no way people can confuse you with any other person else. Like I said, there are doctors on LinkedIn, but there's no way you can confuse me with just any random doctor simply because okay, I'm a doctor. Okay, so I'm now going to help you right now. This is now the I don't know how to say it, the icing on the cake. Now I have summarized everything. So now if you're asked to write your brand story, because that's one thing that I noticed that most people don't have, and so when you're invited to speak on a live event, most of you don't even have anything right to say. You just say okay, and today I'm going to be sharing, like I said, that there are different kinds of hook. Please don't say that I'm faulting your hook. Yes, there are some hooks. We're going to discuss them tonight. There are types of hooks when discussing a presentation. It means that okay, some presentations you can just go up and say three most important points, something something. Uh, okay, maybe let's say three most important ways to improve your reach as a some digital marketing professional. Number one, that is enough hook. Somebody will just say, yeah, let me just quickly learn these three. You can say things like that. Three most important ways to start earning online. I love the last one. Steal my points or something like that. And you start giving 1 to 3. That's education. Like I told you guys, most of my videos I've released so far. That's what I was doing. I was educating, and that is a type of hook, right? There's a storytelling hook. There is the education hook. That's the how-to hook. There are several kinds. There's a video hook. There's a visual hook. So if you notice, probably you probably would have watched a video that you see somebody would just um somebody would just fall off. You know, some of those very scary skits where somebody's leg would just somebody would just fall inside in a dirty water or something. I wish I could play that right now, but I don't want to move away from that a bit. So you see somebody just fell down, bas, and then the next thing you're gonna see is somebody talking. So that is a hook. The whole it's a visual hook. So the fact that the person fell maybe it will draw your attention or make you stop your scroll to listen to the person. So like I still say again, there are different kinds of hooks, right? Of course, when we are doing our video classes, which is already recorded, I will just probably just cut it and make it shorter for all of us. You will see how to come up with visual hooks, right? Whether caption, even in your visual hooks, there are different kinds of visual hooks. There's caption hooks, there is the acting hooks, right? There is the before and after hook. All of them, you're going to see all of that. We're going to just discuss them very quickly because we don't want to stay too long there. So back to our conversations for the night, right? So how to write a brand story. So we have all started. So this is where we are. We've discussed know your why, right? Understand the purpose behind your brand, right? Identify the problems, any problems at all. Okay, so you have known your why. Okay, me like this, I've decided that people must do well. People, in fact, the highest possible education, highest possible businesses, highest possible. I just want to see people move from A to B. Okay, yes, that is my why. What is my low hanging fruit? Okay, I am this. I've done business for nearly how many decades? I've done. I'm very the second word is I'm very diligent. I like to make people do things. So that means I'm likely going to fall into coaching because I easily would ginger people. I see people call me to do things, right? Okay, so now the question is I can't be all this for every niche. right? So which particular problem do I want to solve, right? Which particular problem? Let me just identify it. Okay. Well, one of the things I've realized is that people's self-esteem sometimes is attached to their academics or to their financial level, and I hate it because my as my people will say, money and water. So sorry if you're not from Africa, it just simply means people always use that statement to say money is even easy, more so easy that why are people making it sound so serious? Money is easy, right? That's essentially what I decided. Okay, so I had the education now niche. I'm currently still schooling, right? And my classmates, everybody who are in my circle, I literally used to hit the nest, the mother eagle. I used to hit the nest and chase them to go and read and all that, and we all read and all that. But then for my marketplace, as regards to LinkedIn, I decided that okay, since money is the one that everybody is taking overtly serious, with my background in business and trading for the longest and in decades, that is what I think I can offer. So I've decided on the problem I know I can solve. Now, not yet, we have not even gotten into knowing the problems for your audience. I know the problems I can solve right now. So we've gone to how to write your brand story. You've understood your purpose, right? You've been able to identify the problems that you, based on your own skills, you can offer. Then the next level will be, okay, who are the people who are going to be needing my help? Okay, so for the purpose of internet, right, we will say, where are they? Okay, so for me, I leaned towards professional business startups, and that was why LinkedIn was a very good place for me, right? Then I entered when my community expanded into training, right? Then we know that all platforms, because there are lots of people who are currently watching this event right now who are on YouTube and on Facebook, and they are not on LinkedIn, and they would want to start their journeys. That's why we decided that, oh, it would be lovely to still have to stream. So every time we pay for our streaming tools, we know that even if it's one person that we meet from YouTube or we meet from Facebook, we would have helped one person to understand that you need to start your professional journey. Just in case you want to earn remotely, you need to position yourself properly on LinkedIn, because everybody will still ask for your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so I already know my audience. So my audience are literally professionals and business startups, right? So the question is, after you've mapped these two, okay, so you've known your why, right? You've identified the problem in your why. So me, I've identified my problems in my why. Low self-esteem, which is useless, because if I pay attention, I'm going to get it done. That's why we started. For me, the coaching needs answered my question perfectly, because I will make you see that there's no need to have low self-esteem. All you have to do is to start. So I've identified the problem. Then the next thing I'm going to do is, okay, who are the people? So after you know your target audience, your audience, the next thing we want to do is, what are their pain points, right? Okay, what is it that you want to solve for them? Okay, so for me, I know that a lot of people have money problems, right? And so I chose the coaching route. So it means that I am going to find ways people can earn money on LinkedIn, people can earn money on Upwork, people can earn money on YouTube, people can earn money on Facebook. I have to find all of them out. Thank God it's a community. So it means that I don't have to be the one who does everything, right? While I have my footing on LinkedIn, right? I can still navigate on all other platforms. So those are the things you should be thinking when you are writing down where you can find your target audience. So now, having found your target audience, now it's no longer the problems you want to solve that is your prerogative. So I said it again. When you know your why, right? You identify the problems that your why is solving. Then you find out the people who seem to have answers, okay, who seem to have these problems. And when you found out the people who seem to have this problem, you don't import your own pain points to them. The truth is, some of them don't even know. So we talked about my first video when I discussed that Odogu Parara. Yes. So if you're from Nigeria, I know that this is not a weird thing for you. You know about Odogu Parara, right? And how we did the business lessons. I dropped it on my YouTube. That was my first video in before the challenge, right? I discussed there are people who are problem aware, problem unaware, solution aware, solution unaware. So some people have problems and they don't even know that they have these problems, right? So that's why you don't just infer problems on people. You need to educate them through, okay, this is your challenge. So some people are currently in the sales and marketing niche, but they are having 2 comments and likes. You're in sales and marketing. You're a LinkedIn growth strategist and you're having two comments and likes, and you're saying it's not about the comments and like. So who is going to get you to work with them if you don't fix that up? So you can see that based on your niche, you now know what are the requirements. So it's not just your own. So somebody might just say, yes, I'm a LinkedIn growth expert, but I will post whenever I want. All I will just say is let them give me their account. I'm going to coach them. So you can see that you are not paying, you are elevating your own desires above that of your clients, and that's very bad. So one of the things you would want to do is what do your design your clients desire? So for me, I don't like people who post generic, what's the word, people who post generic, um it's what they call it now. You just see somebody who will copy one. I will post it in the group so that we'll all laugh. Somebody said, hi, you can where do you think AI is going, something unrelated. I've not posted about AI this week, and the person comes and drops that on my on my LinkedIn comments and dropped this in like five other people in my network because I noticed the person. You see that it's kind of embarrassing. Some people have gotten jobs doing that. Like I said, they will always be outliers, right? But you don't want to give yourself off in that way. So that's why you don't infer your own solutions or your own desires of people. Find out what their own desires, what their own values are. So you know what your brand has, your brand story, you know your own. So the people who are now your target audience, you don't just wait until they match. You just know what they need and find a way to answer their problems, right? So once you've done that, okay, you've already defined your brand identity, because now your brand identity will help. That's why I was telling you guys what we did when immediately we got into this live event was that we realized that some people were having YouTube names. So Olamide Joseph, I can see her. Eric Obwakwa. Okay, Obwakwa. Obwaka. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. I'm so sorry if I make mistakes there. And then Favor as well. These are the people who don't have a brand identity on YouTube. Okay, so you would want to position yourself. Like for me now, monetize with Dr. Magnus. Anybody who sees me commenting anywhere knows that whatever it is, she has something to do with money. Let me just go over her channel and just see what she's doing there. That's why you must have a brand identity. You know your why. You have crafted your brand story. You know your audience, but you need to have something that makes people understand what your values, your mission, your vision is. So when we chose the Phoenix Gates, we read the story. Even in my video introduction, it was stated super clearly, right? The Phoenix Gate is the phoenix is a mythological bird that rises from the ashes. That's essentially my brand story. Like I said, I don't want to believe that anything is hard. I believe that anybody can become anything if they give themselves to proper coaching, right? To proper guidance. And that is why we chose the name Phoenix Gates. And the gate, we chose the Phoenix, then we chose the gates because we know that there are lots of people who will be at crossroads, right, in their life at one point. They will see our own gates. And as soon as you come into our gates, we are guaranteeing you that you will not be thinking like the way you used to if you show up consistently. So you can see that I've already made sure my brand identity is clear. Even my YouTube, very clear. If you see me, you know what I am here for, right? That is why we are hoping that everybody who is currently here will would make sure that they do that for themselves so that people are not questioning what you are offering, right? Okay, so someone said I think I can see somebody on my phone. Her name is Miss TikTok girl, Miss TikTok girl channel. So those kind of channel names, you'll not be wondering, I don't understand. On YouTube, you're Miss TikTok. What do you want to achieve? Is it TikTok monetization? So you can see that there are lots of questions already around it that you don't want to leave open. Okay. So once we've identified, you've decided what in your what in your clients that you want to answer, and you've imbibed it as your mission, your vision. One of the first things you would want to do, like we said, you can see that when we discussed Gates, Phoenix as a bird that rises, then we now talked about the fact that okay, it's not just about it rising, right? It's a gate, so it means that there will always be people. It's a community thing. It was positioned for community. Now, one of the things we also did was to let you know. Okay, so we always used to say then, and for you, if you're probably just joining now, we had already said we are movers, right? We are movers. So it kind of gives you, when we started out, we were using movers and shakers. So it means that we were, when you see us, you know that we're energy people. That's my the core of my being. It was literally myself. I interpreted it into my business in the sense that even if I decided I'm not going to run any coils anymore, I'm not going to do business anymore. It's my, you can't take it away from me. That is why I will still show up on Sunday like this, because that is who I am. Like no money can take that away from me. Okay, so those are the things you need to sit with. It will help you so that when you're talking burnout, you will know that people will be begging you to slow down. Like before, when I was preparing for this course, I stayed awake throughout the night. I just wanted to meditate because I know that this is a complete uncharted territory, in the sense that most people who have discussed personal brand have never thought it like this before. And for me, I knew that I had to stay one with whatever it is I wanted to communicate. So it meant me staying awake, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm still going to stay. In fact, today I still have many things I'm supposed to do this night, right? So it will not even be a question of burnout. It's a question of calm down. So every single time at home, that is one statement that my husband will always tell me. Okay, so for some people who don't know, I'm married. My husband will always tell me, calm down. This thing, calm down. You know, you're not like before. Of course, definitely. You can I told you guys a thread of who I was. Even in secondary school, I didn't sleep in the nights. That's my personality. So the what my husband now puts forward every single time is that, you know, you're not as young as before. You don't want to probably just what's the word, put your health at risk, so the goal will not be burnout. The goal will be you're doing too much. That's what everybody will be saying, you're doing too much. And it's because your why is now clear. Even when you are tired, you're doing too much, so you will not have those exhaustions that people are always talking about. Okay. So for me, part of the exhaustion I have is if I meet recalcitrant human beings. Oh Jesus. I literally feel bad for people who come into my circle of influence and they are not moving, because for me, I always move. I Every single day I move. So those are the ones that, if I'm experiencing burnout, is if some of these funny people who come around my space and they don't want to learn, they don't want to pivot, they are the ones who would irritate me. So and your burnout in this case will not be to say, okay, I'm not going to do this again because I have some silly people who have refused to take their journey seriously. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to face another direction and start propelling anybody that is working with me. I work with the person. Like we said tonight, for people who didn't show up here, we'll take out people from the community who didn't show up, who are in the challenge, because you're going to draw us back, right? So that's essentially what it is. Because for me, I'm always on the run. I just want to make sure that people are catching the vision and they are moving, because I'll say life is too short for anybody to look down on you for anything. That is, in fact, this is the heart of my conversation this night. Life is too short for anybody to play with you, to tell you that you cannot be anything because of something that you can learn. And as I'm saying it now, the pain is just rising up in my voice. In fact, to cry now, I'm very close to crying. And I'm saying it because you cannot leave yourself at the mercy of somebody else defining a narrative that is you could have just attained. I mean, it's a mess. Okay, so this again, we said the last thing you're going to do is please go ahead and ask. You can drop the questions. Once we get to the time taking of questions, we'll have you on. So the last thing you're going to do is identify the hero story. Okay, so as cast your brand as a hero, right? Being able to pull people. So hero story, help people move from where they are to what they are now. Like I told you guys, Phoenix Gate embodies everything in that direction. Oh my goodness. Sorry, give me one moment. I did my phone wasn't on power. It might go off. Sorry, people on my device. Please give me one moment. It might go off. I don't know. Let me see if I can beat the time. Okay, so I think I was able to catch it. Awesome. So thank you so much. You guys have been so graceful to me today. I really appreciate. Okay, so let's see. So haven't concluded that. Next thing is make sure that you tell people. Of course, that's where your metrics come in. Identify the hero's journey, how people will move from one point to the other when they decide to join you on a particular narrative. So I'll show the story. Everybody knows the Just Do It Nike. Nike, of course, is a sportswear. So Just Do It means that you know that sports sometimes can be very tough. It's not sometimes, sports is tough. So what Nike did was that they decided to build a brand story around making athletes, people who want to lose weight or people who want to live healthy generally, to just do it. So every time you think of just do it, you think of going on to wear your trainers and start taking a walk. Just do it. And everybody resonated to that brand campaign. And I think it made them millions of trillions of dollars when they launched. Then of course Apple is always known about their brand stories more on innovation. That is why every single year or whatever it is, I don't know the circle, they're not about to put me in that their stuff, right? Every single year they are always producing one thing or the other. So the idea is to what, tell people that they are always innovating. So even if it's their camera they change, they'll innovate something. That's what they've decided as a brand, that they just want to do something bigger, something tougher. So you just need to find out something that interprets what you do properly, right? That will easily tell a story. So for me, if you hear the Phoenix Gate, you already know that this is where we used to beat people from one frequency up. We want them to go up by force. So it means that there's going to be a lot of work and a lot of energy, right? So you can say maybe there's a little similarity with Nike. Okay. So we've already talked about this already. So what I'll do is maybe I'll give okay, yes. When structuring, the thing is maybe I'll leave this for Mama Ish to discuss with us. Okay, so this is what essentially happens to your brand when you start having a brand story. Building an emotional connection with people, authentic alignments can improve. Let me see the percentage. Up to 4 times can make you earn up to 4.5 times, gain more engagement, and then generally people can easily purchase into your product. So when you're running a campaign, so for those our brand personal brand strategies, when you're running a campaign for anyone, you might want to pay attention to all this. So that leads me to our main topic for today. We had to just put this topic because we realized, like I said, from my community members, realized that most people who did videos, YouTube videos, they were not really paying attention. Like I said, there's no challenge. For me, at some points, I had that challenge as well because I have kids in my house. So most times it's more like if I get an opportunity to even sit down to record, I literally take it. And that is why for me, I don't even write scripts. So all the videos you've seen me, even the Odogo Parara video, I did not write a script. I've never written a script so far. All the videos you see on my platform, there's no script for it. And this is it. For me, I'm working with speed because my solitude is usually taken, is abridged at any point. So any single time I'm trying to record, somebody just enter. So the goal is you better finish it before somebody comes to interrupt you because I don't have excuse. So you see, that's the difference between me and probably other nursing mothers who are probably on this call with me. And one of the things I've realized as well is that nobody's asking for perfection. I'll still say it again. Nobody is asking for perfection from you. Now, the reason why I still try my best to position myself, get lightning, get this and that, get cap course and all that, is because I'm coaching. So I'm still telling you again that depending on your position, you don't want to, there are some portfolios that might not invite so much okay, that might not invite so much what did you call it, vulnerability. But these days I've seen people, so for the people who are on the live or my handset, or like on my sets, literally I've seen people make millions just talking, and they are shaking and they are discussing, and people are just coming in. They have their live event. Hi Taylor, I can see you. Thank you so much for coming into my room today. So you can see that they will just have their videos every single time. They will just shoot their videos and discuss and drop something. Especially if you have an iPhone, it would be lovely, right? If you don't have, just believe for it. Nobody will kill you for believing, right? Or nobody will unalive you for YouTube gets me. Nobody will unalive you for believing, right? But that's why we say have CapCut, right? Whether the free version or the paid version, whatever. Don't wait until you have a very good a video camera. Just use CapCut to upgrade. We'll do a video to show some of the settings that you just need to click. For the people who are in the community, you already have some of those videos. Just some settings that you touch. You can just sharpen the video to look like iPhone. In fact, even Instagram and TikTok has an editing software on their platform where you can even edit. You can change your phone to an iPhone camera when you are recording. So I'm just trying to say that don't be saying that you have any excuse, right? Like we said again, the video market will always win because it has so much authenticity with it, right? It will always win because of so much authenticity. I mean, everybody who sees me on this live now will easily trust me than somebody who probably is just always writing. Okay, that's somebody who is just always writing. Can you people see me? I don't know why I can't see myself. Okay, okay, so I get what is going on. Oh, it's because of my setting. Okay. So now, unlike people who are probably using, um, people who use videos are easily to be trusted compared to people who write. Of course, we know that there's a lot of facade around writing. Okay. So when we had a meeting, when we came on, I think was it whose meeting was that? Okay, Dr. Izu's meeting, right? Yes, most of us met ourselves there, and all of us were just surprised. We were like, oh, is this your face? We're all surprised. Somebody say, you're dark, you're this, you're that. But now with the video, you see that most of those gaps in maybe proving authenticity would have reduced. So that's why it's easier for you to make more money, right? Physical sales, like you can make money on YouTube. People know again that you cannot run away and leave your YouTube because the YouTube account in itself is an investment in the sense that there is money in you being consistent because YouTube will pay you for showing up consistently after you get monetized, right? But then, so no, imagine, let's say you've grown your YouTube to about, let's say, 20,000 subscribers and you're earning, let's say, close to $10,000 or maybe $1,000 per month, right? Depending on your niche. Usually, education niche is usually paid more than other niches, right? Entertainment usually paid less. And for me, one of the things I did as well was I have three three channels, one for entertainment, one for education, two for education, one for entertainment, two for education. The truth is that my wiring is education basically. So um one will be essentially, I would discuss for those people in the community, there's something I will tell you, please try and have something like that. If there's anything that you love, right, that you never really found an expression, maybe music, have an entertainment version of it. Now, this cheat sheet, nobody will tell you this. I'm still saying it again. I know why I'm smiling because a lot of you would start getting some of you probably will even get to your watch hours very quicker than any other person, right? When you enter that niche, the growth niche, that's the YouTube growth niche, monetization niche also is a very fast niche. But then entertainment is the fastest of them all. I mean, you can actually post MJ's videos, right? And just show yourself. You know the way, make sure that you put yourself by the corner of the video, and the video the video can get up to 1 million to 20 million views if it's a very rare video. So it means that you can even be monetized in one day. So all these things that we've been shouting, monetization, this monetization, that, it actually depends on your niche. And if you pick a proper niche. So for me, everybody who is currently on these events with me, I would say have three what did you call it, have three channels, have an entertainment niche. If you're into gospel music, Bible reading, whatever it is, have a religious niche. Again, YouTube sells very well. I'm not going to hide, so I'm going to tell you what you need to know so that you not be putting your head rock and be saying, if it's not parenting room. Okay, so sorry if you don't understand this. This is me getting playful. I'm just saying, I'm trying to demonstrate the fact that you don't have to hit your head in one place and say that must be where the victory will come. And one of the things I would want to say for that particular niche, just leave it at free will. Just don't bother so much. All you have to do is post and ghost. Literally, don't even bother about sharing it anywhere. Just post and just we'll all discuss this afterwards, right? Make sure you put yourself, have a general video summary of yourself talking. You can always attach it at the end of the videos to introduce yourself. Hi, thank you so much for watching. Kindly subscribe to this channel. I am still I am an enthusiast towards this. You can just say the reason why you love the platform and the channel. Record it and keep it separate. No matter what you say, attach it at the end or mid in the video, whatever it is. But you can have a channel dedicated to entertainment so that you're not hitting your head and saying, if it's not, let me see if I can find some channels. Let me see. Please, if you're currently on this live, just say something, right? So that I can get your name. I can predict how fast your growth can be from your niche. Okay, so let me see. I went back a little bit so I can see Comfort Brown Foundation. You know, that foundation will be a lot of you do a lot of videos, outreach videos, and all that. You might be talking about stories. If you're not as diligent, your growth will be very slow. So if you have alternate channels, more than one channels, for me, like I said, when you all joined, for those people who just joined, I'd advise that you probably have like two different three different channels. So I'll say it again, have one channel for entertainment, all the people you love, right? Just find a way to always maybe discuss. You can even have like a gist around celebrities if you have the time. And like I said, what you will do is casual, just hold phone like this and just be recording if you have to, right? Most of them, those are the things that they call faceless channel, right? Have just one particular video that you can always attach in the body of the videos. Of course, there's always read the copyright laws, right? There's a particular amount of share you are not allowed to share more than, so that you don't get um what's the word, you don't get striked for probably posting verbatim. So if you post verbatim, you'll be striked because you don't mention, and make sure you mention. Of course, for people who did our monetization bootcamp before now, we said it's always, if you know a video, even during my live events, all the names that I mention, which I try to avoid because the videos are usually very long, I try to avoid that. If you mention anybody's name in your description, write the person's name. Like, it's more like telling the person thank you for his work and all that. So if I'm going to have an entertainment videos, and I love MJ a lot, right, I am going to put his videos and put myself somewhere in the corner, and I'm bumping my head. Like I said, one thing you might want to do is just record one particular video and just keep it somewhere. Anytime you're editing, just attach it and just be bumping your head. So even if YouTube tries to strike you, you edited, you are there. So copyright claims will not affect you, right? But then, of course, there's still an amount that you probably will not go beyond. Okay, so let me go back to this. So I've been able to tell you, so I haven't figured out this, right? So for people, like I had somebody when I posted today, I think around 3 or so, I saw someone say something around the fact that their video, that for those people who can do video, YouTube is good. I'm like, no, there's something called faceless channel, and faceless channel doesn't necessarily mean AI. So once we said faceless channel, somebody will just go and be learning and see. Of course, I can do it. I still have prompts. I sent prompts to people who wanted to do any of those things, right? But it doesn't mean that you have to. Your faceless channel has to be that. You can even have a collections of photos and read around those photos, write a script on it. The good thing is that it's faceless, so you can literally be reading from your phone. Okay, so this is a story about MJ when he first was a child. Da, 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 da. It was said that da, 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 his dad, this person affected him, this and that. Nobody is seeing your face, but it's essentially photos moving, right? So that is also a faceless photo, a faceless video. Faceless video means that your face is not there, right? And your face not being there could be like a vlog, a summary vlog. You might not put your face, but you can just be food. You can be food vlogging. You're cooking, you're putting your videos and all that. I will discuss a few other things maybe at the end of this. Please get comfortable with life as well. You can go live. Please, community people are going to be asking every week. I will ask when you went live. It's an assignment. Every week you must go live on your own. Come out to YouTube on your own. Nobody, don't tell anybody anything. Come out and just meet people. They will insult you. They will say, who is this person? Black person, yellow person. Just be laughing. The people that you can laugh at, you laugh at. The people that you can block, you block. But all these things, that is me still trying to say it again. You need to face your fears. So I think there's a particular person I'm referring to, right, when I'm saying this. So please face your fears. So let's go right into our conversations for the evening. Hey, Jesus, our time is so short. My goodness. Okay, so let's see what we'll just do. So, video presentation is when you're doing a video presentation, generally, like we have already discussed everything. So, if you have already decided on your why, your brand story, every single thing, doing videos will now be super easy. The question will be every single time you want to record a video, is who are the people you want to reach? Like I said, the reason why I would advise everybody to have different channels for different things so that you don't confuse your people, so that you can just niche down. niche down straight. So it's not like LinkedIn where you can only have one account, right? And you're questioning yourself whether you should niche down or not. YouTube, different channels, have different channels for different things, and decide who are the target audience for that particular niche. Who are you trying to reach? For me, my demography is usually, I have 25 to 35 is usually my peak viewership. I have 35 to 45. I've had 45 before. So all these things are on your analytics. You see your analytics beside your videos, especially your shorts. The shorts is super easy to see your analytics. Then if you want to see the analytics for your long videos, just go to your YouTube studio. You're going to see that there. So every single time you post, while you're checking whether your view whether you've gone viral or not, what you might want to do is click on the analytics. It will give you an idea of, for those people who didn't name their account, you know that okay, the people you're seeing, YouTube is confused who to take your account to, so they will just probably just be showing it to anybody. Okay, so I'll say again, who are you trying to reach? Then what are the problems you want to solve? Then what is the relevance? If you missed our first ever class, please go back to it. I'm not going to reiterate that there, but we were able to search for how you can search for relevant things. So for people in entertainment, there's just all around Very Dark Man every day, D1. There's just around what's that his name? Two Face, Annie, there's just around Natasha. So all those are already relevant trending topics that if you're into entertainment, one video like this, some people can just come at it and they might subscribe to you if you're reasonable and if you planned it very well. It's not like if you're reasonable. If you have poor planning, some people can misinterpret it. More like you only got one shot, right? But always remember to have your call to action, because also people binge watch on YouTube. Sometimes it's when you do your call to action that they remember to do something. Okay, so tailoring your hooks to specific. I already told you guys, if you had done the assignment that we did the first day we came on board, right, you would have already known the people that you're reaching out to. You will already know. So it won't be a question of who are the people you're reaching out to. If you have done your assignment as well, even from today, you already know the people that you want to serve. Now, you, like we said from last week's assignment, get match 10 people as well in your niche and see the topics. If you see my phone, I have screenshots. In fact, why I decided on the topic that I'm going to film for this coming week was because I saw that almost somebody who was in my niche did it and the person had views. Even if I'm an upcoming YouTuber, I'm just going to leverage on his traffic. So that's why so that you're not going to just say, okay, today I'm going to be talking about self-discipline. Only you and your self-discipline. You know that even your topic is not a hook. So you say, today I'm going to be discussing algorithm. Let's say you're teaching maths. Please don't do that, right? Find out what people are looking for and leverage while you're growing into becoming a top voice. When you now become a voice like VDM, right, on YouTube and on Instagram, you can now wake up and be talking nonsense. People are already converted to you. They're not even bothered, right? Okay, so I'll say it again. Part of the anatomy of a great hook. So like we said, first thing, before you write, in fact, your video, the most important thing is your hook. That's the beginning, just like the way we write on LinkedIn. So if you're here and you're on YouTube, you're not on LinkedIn, please type community. We'll also make sure that we help you land properly on LinkedIn, because you need LinkedIn. There's nobody who would want to eventually get you to work for them without you having that set up properly, right? And we can also offer that services to you as well. So one of the things you would want to do is find great hooks. So that research that you did now, you find out the top performing what's the word? The top performing posts for that particular niche. So once you have found it, you just screen grab it. Thank God it's not LinkedIn where screen grab is an offense. On YouTube, you can screen grab all you want, right? So it means that you already have a great hook, right? Once you have seen a great hook, but you can also look at the person's the way the person did their thumbnails and just copy it. Nobody, after all, it's not the person that did it for you, right? You can just copy the positioning where the dollar sign in it. If you're in a monetization niche, if you're in a real estate, what were the pictures that the person put? What were the things that the person put? What were the topics that the person discussed, right? Sorry, I'm going to be super fast because our time is almost elapsing, right? So one of the things you would want to do is you don't just show up. One of the things I noticed with my family members, they will just come and say, today I want to teach. You don't just come and you want to teach. You want to make sure that whatever topic that you have is, number one, is it intriguing? So value, now it's not the main thing. So I'm saying this now because I know that people are from LinkedIn, you have already learned 5 ways to, 10 ways to, and you just want to come and point on YouTube. Oh, no, they do like that, right? It's part of the, okay, sorry if you're from other countries, no, they do like that. Doesn't mean it's a broken word, right? It is, don't do that way. Okay. So you have to have intrigue because it's more like movie. Why would anybody watch you to the end? Like when I did the Odogu panorama video, that was essentially what I did at the beginning. I said some people would think that, oh, I wanted to tell the story about any Odogu. It was not. Oh, it's business lessons, and that video was talking about essentially, right? So anybody who was serious, watch the video from beginning to the end because I discussed essentially how um I started it with something super catchy, but then there were lessons. So you have to have intrigue, then value, then is it relevant? You don't just pick any topic because you went through a particular season in your life. You just want to talk about it. And you're a small YouTuber. How are people going to search for you? Like we said, we remember that YouTube is essentially a search engine, right? Connected to Google. So anybody who searches for anything on Google, depending on how well you are ranked, the person will find your video. So YouTube is not about now. Go ahead and check the bad album for MJ, you see that now all those videos, you see 1 billion views, 6 billion views for all them Bow Wow and all that, Lil Romeo and all those kind of guys. You can see that over the years, over 15 years, every single time somebody watches, they are being paid, right? So we're thinking of long term here. So that's why you should just plan your content. I'll show you how to. We're going to quickly discuss that quickly, right? We are getting to the end of today's event, right? So I said again, you pay attention to. I just hope you're right, Sinsha, because me, I'm selling this. I'm selling this. I'm selling it. So you not see. In fact, should I delete this video? Okay, now I'm beginning to think of things. I'll discuss that later. Okay, so one of the things you want to do is pay attention to intrigue, to value, to relevance, and brevity. So as much as possible, especially because we're just starting out now, what we want to think of is to be as brave as possible. You don't want to do one long video. So somebody wants to post video, you only have 2 subscribers. But you went to post a 30 minutes video, and the worst part is that you are not even, it's not a, like nobody knows you, but you went to post 30 minutes of your video. Like it's not even an educational video. Like let's say your classes, you hosted your classes on LinkedIn, on YouTube. No, you went to do educational video and you want somebody to start watching from beginning to end with all your bloopers and all your errors and your conversations that might not be as smooth because obviously you're just starting. Like the reason why I would always say is progress over perfection. I'll still say it again. Anybody that preaches anything other than that is a dangerous person. And sincerely, you will not see me around the person. So just know that I cannot bring anybody like that. Okay. So there are a lot of people who do clickbaits and they cost them. So I've seen people who posted, like recently, I think it was somebody used AI to duct a song by Davido and one other person. Then he now wrote official video. People came and they watched, right? So that means he's going to make money. But the insult they gave him, I don't think anybody will agree to subscribe to that channel, right? Yes, so exactly. So Austin Chisholm was saying pay attention to short content. Yes. Now another thing you would want to know is that the YouTube algorithm pushes shorts very well, but you cannot depend on shorts alone. That's why at least have one long form. Now, as you're building your personal brand, like now you can see that the people who joined the events, who eventually joined our trainings last, I cannot have these teachings again for them. And if you enter, even from the forms, you are directed to somewhere where you are going to go and watch videos. So that's why you should also do your long forms. So every week, I would say at least have one long form video and short and one long form videos, and every day just drop a short. Like I said, for our community, shorts is not anything out of the blues. Nobody said you should start saying, okay, I'm going to be telling you about the story of my life. No, you can actually just post a video of you just sitting down, and every offer you have is written, or you can do a voice over you probably sitting, like you can record yourself walking, so that you're not under any pressure. It's essentially your workflow. You're working in your office and you're typing. Just all you have to do is press play and you're facing your work. And then when you're done with your work, you can come back and just do a voiceover on it and say, well, this is how generally my day usually is. Very tedious. I had an opportunity to work with a something, or you can tell a story. Like we said, based on what we said today, storytelling is a big thing. And so if you pay attention to that, You don't have to stay in front of camera you're recording for your shots every day. It does not, it's okay if you want to do it, but there goes your reach as well, because you're not giving your community variety. And please give yourself an opportunity to try different things, right? Especially that you're starting, right? To see that which suits best. Sometimes people can get fed up of seeing you with the same thing every single time, especially for shorts. So if they don't click within the season of you posting, right? It's not like LinkedIn where you say, oh, if you even if you use one picture over and over again, people will just know you, and what they are interested is your write up. No, like I said again, we are gonna be talking about visual hooks. I don't know. We might not have. I will stop at exactly the time when we're supposed to stop. I won't stretch this class, but that means we might have to pull it over to next week, and then we will. But my challenge is that I want people to already start implementing. Um, because next week we're going to have. I'm going to talk with Dr. Ish and see if she can stay on storytelling proper so that she can teach some of the frameworks there. But this is essentially the anatomy of a great hook: intrigue, value, relevance, brevity. Like I said again, a hook is not necessarily it's not just, there's a caption hook, there's a video hook, there's a drama hook, there's a storytelling hook. So a lot of people just think, oh, hook is just storytelling. And when I started out on LinkedIn, so these are our LinkedIn people that can be super boring. I'm so sorry, guys, but we just have to find ways to flavor up. You can dance. That's a visual hook. So one of the things I noticed last week was that most of our community members who did a dance video describing what they did, that video did better than the average of people who sat down before the camera to do something. So it might not necessarily be dance, it can be drama, cloning yourself with CapCut, right? All those things, you should be able to do that. I think my video for next week, I am going to have, I'm recording for video clones. So you're going to see me talking to myself and acting drama. Yes, attempt anything. This is your opportunity to grow. Now, the good thing about the YouTube algorithm is that you don't have to suffer. If your content is good, you just post and you post and go and sleep. Come back, respond to people, tell them thank you for engaging on anything. If you need to see, go over to see what they are doing. Like I said, if you're currently on this live and this is your first time you're starting this journey, don't subscribe to anybody without watching their content. YouTube will take it out. Okay, YouTube will take it out. So make sure you watch their content. So that's why for us, our community, we said short videos, so that everybody who is dropping their links, they drop, but it's short, and people can just watch that 1 minute video and move on to the next things. So let's say we have 20 people, that's 20 minutes, and then we're done for the day. Okay, so that's the difference between YouTube and LinkedIn. If you try 20 minutes on LinkedIn after posting, trust me, your post will be watching you, depending on your impression anyway. If your impression is already very low, you're going to have lots of crickets singing lullaby in front of your post. Okay, so these are the things you should avoid. Of course, you're a professional now, so clickbait. So I've seen some people do those things on YouTube, and I'm like, on Facebook too. I'm like, are they okay? How will you be writing nonsense? You see some people, so their clickbaits, their visual hook is their graphic design. Then they will show a living legend, an artist who is alive. They will now show that the person has passed. I'm like, what kind of wickedness is that? How will you be saying that somebody has passed when the person is alive? Just because of clickbait. So please avoid it, because you're a professional, right? So I'm hoping that we're talking to people who are professionals, so they won't do all that. Then we said avoid misleading information, right? Avoid slow starts. Okay, like I said, just whatever it is, start, right? Even if you have a slow start, go to your, what do they call it, your CapCut, check your speed, increase your speed small, right? So like I said, many things, AI has softened a whole lot of things. Okay, so let me just quickly give you an example. So there are different types of hooks. I'm going to just rush through. Okay, so let me stop a bit. So far, if you've gotten anything, just say, do you think we should continue, or let's just probably leave it to the next week? Since we have already been able to discuss our why, you already know how the tenets of your videos. You don't have to do the regular sit in front. You can also do like, okay, for those people who are on my phone, because I'm also on my phone here, you see how I'm even talking. This can be a video for me. Hi everyone, my name is, okay, no, you will not start with your name. You start with a hook. You don't start with your name. Okay, I'm still saying it again. You don't start with your name, you start with a hook, right? You start with a hook. Once you start with a hook, then you can probably just rehook. Then you go ahead and just introduce yourself properly. That's how you do for YouTube, right? Introduce yourself properly, and then you bring your solution, profile your solution. So there's a question hook, right? Are you making these mistakes? Are you making these common mistakes? Okay, common presentation mistakes. So these are for people in the public speaking niche. So please, if you're on this live with me, please talk. Let me know if you're already tired. I understand. I think we can actually just push this to next week. Then we'll conclude with the storytelling discussions next week. Then I'm just hoping that today, I think we'll stop here, right? But I've given you an idea of what the few of the practices that you would want to have in mind when you're curating your videos. I've been able to cancel, or so that you don't think that okay, you have to do some of the things that some people are doing, right? To Yeah, so sprint. Yes, I saw your Audra. I saw your video. It was so lovely. That whole scenery of the train. That's more like a mini vlog, and it's them adding storytelling, fireworks, right? Fireworks. So that's lovely. So I think for today, we'll just stop here so that we don't stretch it too long. We will conclude this topics by next week. You'll be a hook pro, but for now, at least you just know the few things that you should do and shouldn't do, and don't put yourself under any form of undue pressure. Yes, you can actually just use your phone and record you talking, position yourself well, and just be talking, and people will listen in. You can even give it like a casual talk atmosphere, and then let's say you're talking a story, you're talking about a story that day, and then you're good to go. So please, do we have a question? Oh, awesome, good to see you, Dr. Augusta. I celebrate you, dear, ma. So do we have any questions? Thank you so much, Audra. I would have wanted to continue, but so no problem. We'll be ending now as well. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so if we don't have any questions, I'm going to just give 5 minutes. If there's no questions, please, if you came in late, just go back and purse through where you came in and clarify a whole lot of things. The YouTube journey is the easiest. And yes, this was one of the things I thought I should let everybody know. While you're paying attention to your YouTube journey, just replicate those same videos you post on YouTube, post them everywhere else, right? Post them on your Facebook, post them on your LinkedIn, not LinkedIn. Well, it's possible depending on how you craft any particular topic. You can also use them as your original posts for your LinkedIn, right? So what you might want to do is post them on your once you're growing your YouTube, ensure that your Facebook is working well. Ensure that your Instagram is working well. Now, there's a huge traffic from Facebook to YouTube. There's a huge traffic from Instagram to YouTube compared to LinkedIn to YouTube. If you notice, I've seen a lot of people try it over and over again. If you put your link on you on Instagram, you really find, if some people say subscribe to my channel, you still say it and there's no subscription. That's because LinkedIn is gatekeeping. So if people click on the link, they can't come directly to your channel except they start putting their emails and so many other things. And most people have forgotten. But YouTube, you can just Facebook, you can actually click a link from Facebook and you're voila into YouTube and you watch. You can even subscribe if you want. But LinkedIn gatekeeps, so that you don't even bother so much, even if there's no difference. But you can always post. I still post. I still attach, but there's no much difference when you do that. I just wanted to probably clear that as well. Awesome, Esther. Thank you so much for indicating that we should make it next week. Awesome, Rafa. Thank you. Awesome. So we already know that we have. Please, so the next thing I'll be requiring now, thank you, Favor, is implementation. So please try your best to implement. Like we said, the people who are in the group, the people who didn't show up, Rafa and Esther, please help us. Rafa, Esther, Teresa, and all the community leaders, please help us remove all the people that you didn't see here. Please, if you're here on this live and you've not left your conversations, you better do. So we said at least take out 5 to 10 persons today. So just put their name. Just before you take them out, tag them and say, you did not show up. You did not show up. You did not show up. Tag all their names, and we'll be taking you out in 30 minutes contest. So it's possible that you might tag them and they actually showed up and probably they didn't leave a conversation. But I'm saying it again, if you're on this life right now, please leave a conversation so that we know that you are here, so that you're not a victim of anything. It's a pretty transparent thing. We don't want people who are not serious to be around us. Like me, I said it's a major turn off for me. I believe that things are super easy. But if lazy people, no, you cannot come to my atmosphere. God forbid. Right? I don't like it. Okay. And I understand that you're very busy. And I still say it again, I'm very busy. But I don't like people playing with what I'm giving my life to. So it means it's a question of priority, not essentially you being busy. You know what to do with your time. Okay, so in the absence of that, and I want to say thank you to everyone who stopped by. We really appreciate, despite our move, our turnout today was very good. I just want to say thank you for stopping by. So please tomorrow, please write everything you've learned. I would want a post. Please tag me on that post, right? Tag me on the post of everything you learned. Right? What did I press on my phone now? Please tag me on your post on everything you learned so far. Just tag me on it. Is your way of giving back. I like to ask for that because remember these hours that I give, you probably didn't exchange it for anything, but it's very essential that we all just have a way to acknowledge people who have taken us through a journey. And for me, I'm very big on loyalty and honor. Honor, very, very big on it. So please, if you're currently on this live and you benefited, please just tag me on your posts and say what you learned so far and the things you're willing to implement. So thank you so much. I really, 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 really appreciate. So if you came in late, it's super easy. Just press backwards and just watch and get lights because today was fire for fire. There was no break. In fact, at some point I was like, God help you guys. But usually that's what happens to me. Every time I have an opportunity to teach, I'm always super excited. Right. And because we have very short time, it's better compressed a little bit. So thank you so much. So let me just spotlight everybody. I showed up today with no posts, but emojis. Okay. Mankoli, thank you so much. Well done. Thank you very much, Jessica. I really, really appreciate you. So send me a message for the people who are yet to be in the community. I'll add you up. And so we've already opened up our monetization bootcamp. So if you've never earned on LinkedIn, and you're currently watching from Facebook, you want to start your LinkedIn journey, please do well to send me a message. For the people who sent me that they want to be a part of the bootcamp last week, please, I had you in mind. I had a research to conclude, so I didn't contact some of you back, but I'll clear that out by tomorrow. Yes. So if you want to start your monetization bootcamp journey, like I will ginger you, right? I will teach you all the things you need to do, and you make money. In fact, most of my students, I help them make the money because some people are still maybe given the 3 weeks, they are still shy. It's okay. I still put you in the place of opportunities. That's what I do. I make sure that you get the value for your money because that is essentially what I'm here to do. So thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. So please, for next week, everybody who showed up on this live, try and get at least 5 more persons, 10 more persons in your circle. Let's come and learn. Let's come and grow. Right. So for all the people who have conversed so far who are on YouTube, please just click on the YouTube accounts of the people who have left comments, right? Just go to their shorts, just watch their 1 minute shorts and then subscribe. Don't subscribe before watching. If you subscribe before watching, you are wasting your time. So for those people who are sharing their YouTube links up and down and asking people to subscribe, if they don't watch, YouTube algorithm will still take them out. So I'm hoping that you are aware of that. So that when you come back sometimes and you see that your YouTube channel is not growing after you've sent it to 1,000 people, that is where the challenge is. Even if they grow, YouTube takes them out because they want engaged subscribers. So please make sure that you are engaging. So in the absence of that, I would want to say that I'm honored. I'm so grateful. Thank you for stopping by. Like I said, even if it's one person, I will still be here, right? It sounds like what Jesus did, right? Yes. So I would want to appreciate everybody. I'm sure that you had an amazing Sunday. For those people whose Sunday is just starting out for, I'm sure that you're having an amazing Sunday as well. I honor you and I'm grateful for you. Thank you for being super exceptional. And I am going to be ending the live as my manner is on the count of 4. So I'm going to be going 4, 3, 2, 1. Good night, everybody. Thank you for stopping by.
Legend tells of the phoenix, a mythical bird that rises from its ashes, embodying renewal, strength, and transformation. This year, the Phoenix Gate Group has channeled its spirit to inspire, connect, and empower professionals worldwide. Under the visionary leadership of Dr. Vivian Magnus, founder and lead coach, we have soared to new heights. Let's take a moment to celebrate the achievements, milestones, and impact of this past 4 months. In just 4 months, Phoenix Gate has strengthened its professional network of nearly 1,000 members. Together, we have reached over 30,000 professionals in the US, UK, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya. From LinkedIn sessions that drew nearly 1,000 attendees weekly to live events attended by 16,000 individuals, our reach and influence have been extraordinary. The hard work and dedication of the Phoenix Gate team have not gone unnoticed. This year, our community was honored with a prestigious Social Impact Award of the Year and recognized as the most impactful community of the year. These accolades reflect our unwavering commitment to driving positive change across global communities. Beyond career development, Phoenix Gate has made significant strides in public health. Collaborating with international and non-governmental organizations, we have led impactful medical campaigns and health education programs. The expertise of Dr. Magnus as a public health expert and Scrum Master has been instrumental in these successes. Are you struggling with your online visibility? Have you ever imagined that you could be a commanding influence and established as a thought leader in your industry? Are you focused or under pressure about an uncertain career future? How about landing your dream job opportunities? At Phoenix Gate, we have reached over 30,000 professionals and business leaders all over the world, breeding thought leadership, global visibility, and excellence. We support, train, and set you on our platform to shine while showcasing your expertise to the world. As we reflect on this incredible journey, we are filled with gratitude of our members, partners, and supporters who have made this achievement possible. Phoenix Gate Group is not just a network, it's a thriving community committed to growth, impact, and excellence. Here's to even a brighter future. We rise together.